Are you secretly plotting your great escape from where you live? Maybe you're part of that 38% of Americans who are so tired of the U.S., they're eyeing a one-way ticket somewhere, anywhere else. Or maybe you're aiming bigger, like Mars. Sure, Elon says he'll have people living there by the end of the decade. Here's the thing, some of the best countries on Earth are drop-dead gorgeous, bursting with jaw-dropping landscapes, and have quality-of-life scores that make the rest of us want to just move. And with pretty much the whole world rolling out the welcome mat in 2025, there's never been a better time to pack up, start fresh, and completely upgrade your life. So buckle up. These are the top 10 best countries to live in for 2025. And spoiler alert, Mars didn't make the list. Number 10 on our list is Japan. Imagine a country where ancient bamboo forests sway gently in the breeze, where snow-capped volcanoes stand watch over villages that look like they were painted in a fairy tale, and where in spring, the air turns pink with cherry blossoms. Now travel south, past the misty mountains, until you find yourself on the tropical beaches of Okinawa, and then north again, to the neon-lit streets of the largest city in the world, Tokyo. This is Japan. At first glance, you'd think keeping 125 million people across 421 inhabited islands organized would be impossible. But somehow, Japan doesn't just manage, it thrives. The streets are among the cleanest and safest you'll ever walk. Trains glide into stations with precision that feels almost magical. The internet is lightning fast. Vending machines seem to appear on every corner. Over 5 million of them. And yes, even the toilet seats are heated. Japan's school system is ranked the second best in the world. And perhaps more impressively, the most equal. Whether rich or poor, every student gets the same high-quality education. All of this feeds into an economic powerhouse, the third largest in the world, with a GDP of $4.41 trillion, an unemployment rate of just 2.6%, and companies at the cutting edge of technology. The average life expectancy is 85 years, the highest on Earth. A lifetime spent in a place where tradition and technology dance together in perfect harmony. Would you trade a little rest for a life in a country like this? Or is the beauty worth the cost? Number 9 on our list is the Netherlands. You know, the Netherlands is kind of a miracle when you think about it. A quarter of the whole country, 26%, is actually below sea level. And almost half the people who live there, yep, also below sea level. If it weren't for the genius of Dutch engineering, those endless dikes, dunes, canals, and pumps, about 65% of the Netherlands would be underwater every time the tide came in. But here's the thing, the Dutch don't just survive, they thrive too. They've made their country one of the top 10 places to live in the world. And they've done it without overworking themselves. In fact, they have the shortest average work week, just 30.3 hours. Add in 29 paid vacation days, and you start to see why life feels balanced there. Even better, working less doesn't mean earning less. The Dutch are super productive with the hours they do work, pulling in a GDP per capita of around $70,000. Sure, taxes on a higher side, but no one's losing sleep over it because they see the benefits everywhere. Amazing schools, a healthcare system that covers everyone equally, and one of the best pension plans in the world. After taxes, people still take home the second highest income globally, about $53,100. Combine that with almost no unemployment, very little crime, a progressive and open-minded culture, and charming cities like Amsterdam, and it's no wonder the Dutch are among the happiest people on Earth. Okay, fine. Outside of the springtime tulip fields, the Netherlands probably won't win most beautiful country anytime soon. But when your quality of life is this good, who's really complaining? Number 8 on our list is Finland. Finland isn't just a happy country. It's the happiest country in the world. And not just for a year or two, 7 years straight. Even its capital, Helsinki, holds the title of happiest city. Now, is it because Finns drink more coffee than any other nation? Maybe. And honestly, with how cold and dark it can get, I can't blame them for keeping a mug in hand all year round. But there's more to the story. Up in Lapland, you can watch the northern lights dance across the sky. The air and water, cleanest on the planet. And with 31 fully paid vacation days, you've got plenty of time to wander through the endless forests, rivers, and lakes that cover 85% of the country. Life here is built on trust. Finland has the least corrupt government in the world, and it shows. The school system is ranked number 1 globally, and get this, No standardized testing. Teachers focus on cooperation over competition, and students learn in whatever way suits them best. University and trade school? Completely free for everyone. Poverty is almost non-existent at just 5.7%. There's barely any crime or traffic. Healthcare is top-notch and practically free. Parents get an incredible 14 months of fully paid leave, and the country ranks #1 in food security. Really, the only tricky part about living in Finland might be the language. Finnish is unrelated to the other Nordic languages, and is famously one of the hardest in the world to learn. But hey, when life's this good, maybe you'll have the time and coffee to figure out. Number 7 on our list is Canada. Canada and Finland have something in common. You can find a third of both countries above the Arctic Circle, which means they get those long, dark polar nights and seriously frigid winters. But here's where Canada goes big, literally. It's 30 times larger than Finland. You could fit 10 Finlands into just the Canadian Arctic alone, yet fewer than 20,000 people live up there. That should give you an idea of just how cold and empty most of the country is. Still, if you love wildlife, wide open spaces, and jaw-dropping scenery, Canada is a dream. Most people, about 90%, live within 150 miles of a U.S. border. Even then, winters can be brutal, but the quality of life more than makes up for it. In fact, Canada has been a magnet for highly educated immigrants, growing by about 1.8% every year. It's now the most multicultural and educated nation on Earth. 23% of the population was born abroad, and 60% have a post-secondary degree. No wonder it was ranked the best country for both immigrants and students. This diversity has built one of the world's strongest economies, with an average annual wage of $55,400. Combine that with a solid social safety net, and poverty drops to just 8.6%. Add in the fact that it's the 4th safest country and gets along with pretty much everyone internationally, and you start to see why Canadians have that friendly, easygoing reputation. Sure, it's cold, but it's the kind of cold you can live with when life is this good. Number 6 on our list is Iceland. Iceland honestly feels like it was plucked straight out of a fantasy novel. You got towering fjords, moss-covered canyons, black sand beaches, shimmering glacial lagoons, bubbling hot springs, dramatic geysers, and more waterfalls than you can count. Oh, and it's literally sitting on the seam between the North American and Eurasian tectonic plates, slowly being pulled apart. It's the kind of place that makes you feel like you've stepped onto another planet. But the magic of Iceland isn't just in its landscapes, it's in how people live. Poverty here is almost non-existent at just 4.9%, and the average income is a healthy $68,000. It's also the most gender-equal workforce in the world, offers a full year of paid family leave, at least 24 days of paid vacation, free university, excellent universal health care, and the best retirement pension plan anywhere. How do they pull this off? For one, Iceland is proudly pacifist. It has no military. The government is famously transparent and doesn't take more money than it needs. A great example? The Valvdra Tunnel had a toll for 20 years, but the moment it was fully paid off in 2018, they made it free for everyone. The sense of community is also huge here. In times of need, most Icelanders feel confident they could turn to a fellow citizen for help. No wonder they're the 3rd happiest people in the world. Plus, Iceland has been the safest nation for 14 years straight, and Reykjavik is the safest city on the planet. The only catch? If you hate the cold or months of darkness, Iceland might be a bit challenging. But if you can handle the chill, the reward is living in one of the most stunning and close-knit places on Earth. Australia. Finally, somewhere warm. Well, maybe too warm at times. And okay, if you decide to sunbathe in a place like Udnadata, you might actually melt. But stick to the coast, and you're golden. Australia is technically the largest island in the world, and it's got a jaw-dropping 34,000 kilometers of coastline, home to some of the most gorgeous beaches you'll ever see. With half of its 26 million people living in just 3 major cities, that leaves most of the continent as wild, untamed nature. We're talking 685 national parks, many of which you can have all to yourself. There's a reason 90% of Aussies live in urban areas, which make up only 0.22% of the land. They're some of the best cities on the planet. They got thriving economies, the 8th highest average salary in the world, the highest minimum wage, barely any unemployment at 3.4%, and a massive $1.725 trillion GDP that's growing by 11% each year. A big part of the success? Immigration. Australia is the second most multicultural country in the world, with 43% of the population being first or second generation immigrants. And it works, because the country also boasts of excellent schools, top-notch universities, and one of the most efficient healthcare systems out there. The result? Aussies are the 4th happiest people in the world, soaking up beautiful weather, enjoying a laid-back lifestyle, and living to an average of 84.5 years. Just remember the sunscreen. Lots of sunscreen. Number 4 on our list is Norway. Norway. Do I even need to say more? Honestly, you could just look at one picture of this place and start packing your bags. But alright, let's talk about it. Because every inch of this long, narrow, mountainous wonderland is breathtaking. We're talking world-famous fjords, stunning archipelagos, and 47 national parks, so pristine, many don't even allow cars. From Bergen's colorful waterfront to the charm of Aalesund, the historic streets of Trondheim, the modern buzz of Oslo, and the dreamy Lofoten Islands, Norway's towns blend old-world charm with sleek, minimalist architecture. And that less is more style? It's basically a metaphor for the country's whole vibe, simple but seriously impressive. Norwegians also enjoy one of the shortest work weeks in the world, just 34 hours, plus 31 days of paid vacation. Yet somehow, the economy still thrives with a massive GDP per capita of $78,000. Sure, a lot of that comes from exporting oil and gas. But here's the twist. Norway is super eco-conscious, and the government, which happens to be the 4th least corrupt in the world, invests its surplus profits straight into a massive pension fund that fuels generous social benefits. They put a huge emphasis on education, spending 7.6% of the GDP on schools, and have one of the best healthcare systems on the planet. Even if you're unemployed, Norway has a program that pays you a higher income while you retrain or learn new skills full-time. Yes, it's the 5th most expensive country in the world, but it also has one of the lowest poverty rates at just 8.4%. And honestly, the only real danger here is the wind trying to push you off a cliff like Pulpit Rock, while you're busy taking a selfie, of course. No wonder Norwegians are some of the happiest people alive. Number 3 on our list is Ireland. Ireland's a new kid on the block in this ranking, and somehow, it's already cracked the top 3. If you've been sleeping on it, it's time to wake up because the Emerald Isle is having a serious moment. First off, it's the 3rd safest country in the world, has excellent schools, top-notch healthcare, and one of the lowest poverty rates anywhere. The economy? Booming. The Irish are the 2nd most educated population on Earth. Over half have a post-secondary degree, and their friendly tax laws have convinced giants like Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, and Google to set up their European headquarters here. That's turned Ireland into a job seeker's paradise, with a jaw-dropping GDP per capita of $131,000. Oh, and if you're American, moving here is a breeze. Dublin Airport even has U.S. pre-clearance, so you basically get to skip customs when you land back home. Now, I know what you're thinking. Okay, great economy, but isn't Ireland just potatoes and pubs? Well, yes, there are potatoes, and the pints do flow freely, but there's so much more. Those rolling green hills grow some of the freshest produce in the world, and the Irish know how to have a good time, or crack, as they call it. Think St. Patrick's Day parades that take over entire cities, world-class surfing and golf, incredible live music, historic castles, and winding coastal roads that look straight out of a movie. It's no wonder the Irish are some of the warmest, funniest, and most welcoming people you'll ever meet. Just don't try to outdrink them. You won't win. Number 2 on our list is Denmark. Denmark might not have a word for please, but honestly, it doesn't need one. Everyone's already ridiculously nice. And why wouldn't they be? This is the second happiest country in the world, thanks to a culture that values human connection and socializing over grinding for money. Here, the average work week is just 33.7 hours. Yep, they actually leave the office while the sun's still up, and a whopping 96% of Danes say they have friends or family they can count on when life gets messy. Not that life gets too messy. Considering Denmark is also the second safest country, has the best healthcare system, the second best work-life balance, the third lowest poverty rate, the fourth best schools, and the fifth highest average annual salary at $58,400. Now, yes, the taxes can be steep. The top earners hand over 52% of their paycheck. But here's the thing. Danes are smart, engaged citizens with an 84.6% voter turnout, and their government, officially tied for the least corrupt in the world, actually uses those taxes to make life better. Imagine that. Sure, Denmark might not have the dramatic fjords of Norway or the volcanoes of Iceland, but it's warmer. You're never more than 50 kilometers from a beach, and Copenhagen often tops the most livable city on Earth lists. And now, before we get to number 1, you might want to hit that like button, because the winner's a good one. Numero uno on our list is Switzerland. You know, in life, you usually get what you pay for, and Switzerland is proof. Yes, it's the most expensive country in the world, but honestly, it's worth every single franc. Outside of the wow, that's pricey moment you'll have at the grocery store, this place pretty much does nothing wrong. It's incredibly safe. The public transit system runs so smoothly it could probably get you to your stop before you even leave the house. Healthcare is top tier. Universities are excellent, and bonus, taxes are actually pretty low. Plus, Switzerland is divided into cantons, and some of them practice a little thing called direct democracy. Translation? The locals get to vote directly on real policies, like how many vacation days they should have, or how immigration is handled. Imagine being able to literally vote for more days off. And the perks keep coming. Switzerland has the third highest life expectancy at 84 years, the highest average after-tax income at $69,400, which is a full 25% higher than the next richest country. And, oh yeah, the highest quality of life on Earth for 2025. But the real kicker? You get all of this while being surrounded by jaw-dropping views, snowy peaks, crystal clear lakes, and villages so perfect they look like they were photoshopped. If living here isn't on your bucket list, you might need a new bucket list. If you watched till the end of this video, I appreciate you. You must have by now been able to decide where your new vacation would be. But before you leave, please leave a like. Tell me what country captivates you in the comments. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on post notifications to get notified when next I drop a video.